Hello from the Big Blue Hotel in Blackpool, where we have just spent last night. And welcome back to the channel, by the way, where we spent a couple of days in Blackpool. And as I say, last night we spent the full night in the Big Blue Hotel. And I thought I'll give you a little tour of the room. We've got a family room, so I'll show you everything that's in there. And I'm going to take you up now through the reception, and I will tell you a little bit more about the price that we paid. Literally, like, we actually paid less than £5 per person to stay at the Big Blue Hotel on site at the Blackpool Pleasure Beach with breakfast buffet for us all. There's 5 of us in a room and we paid less than £5 for the room and for the breakfast, and I'll tell you why once we get inside. Okay, so those of you that aren't familiar with the Big Blue Hotel, it is one of the 2 on-site Blackpool Pleasure Beach hotels. There's this one here, which was the first one built about just over 20 years ago. And then the next one is Boulevard, which is a little bit more recent. That was only completed a few years ago. But they are both on site of the Blackpool Pleasure Beach, which is just behind it, which I'll show you. I will show you in a sec just how close it is. So the Big Blue Hotel does have parking, but it is £10 per night to park your car in the car park. This is the car park here, and there is plenty of on-street parking that you don't have to pay for, literally just opposite. So you can go all the way down this street and then you can take a right down there. There's spaces down there, there's spaces further on. So if you're not too fussed about actually being in the car park itself, you can find somewhere very close in the vicinity to park your car without having to pay anything. And I'll go through reception and we'll head up to the room and I'll give you a room tour. But this is just how close it is. That's the big one, just going past the rooms on the back side of the hotel. There is 2 sides to the hotel. This side, which is the cheaper side of the 2, and then the other side, because you get a park view, you do have to pay a small supplement for that. It's only about £15 per room per night more to get a park view, but we didn't go for that, purely for the reason being we was in the park for the whole time it was open yesterday, so we wouldn't even see anything going around or anything because we was in the park for that. I'm just going to show you the exclusive entrance into the Pleasure Beach from these 2 hotels, the Big Blue and the Boulevard next door there. We do have our own exclusive entry into the theme park, and that is open from when the park opens, which yesterday for us was 10 o'clock. You just go straight down there and that is where you enter. So that is open from 10 o'clock if the park opens at 10 like it did yesterday until 11:30. So it opens for 1.5 hours from park opening, and that is exclusive for guests of both hotels. So that helps you getting in without having to queue at the front of the park. So I've covered the parking, I've covered how you get into the theme park and the exclusive entry times. And you can exit there as well. So we was told. I think it does say on the information online that you can't, but she did tell us you could on reception. So we'll head inside. Key card is required to get entry into the corridor. And once you've scanned your card to get in, you get in the lift and go to your floor. We're on floor 4, which is the upper floor. And as I say, it is a family room. I'll show you once we get inside everything that's included, and I'll talk a little bit about the pricing and how we got the price we did. So we are room 426, which is on the right side. So as you remember from outside, we've got a street view. If you're on the left hand side of this corridor, you will have a park view. and the card to get in the room. And this is the family room. So because we've got 5 people staying in this room, because all of us are in here, they have put an extra bed there for the little child, Albie. It isn't the most comfortable bed. That we have both tried it, me and Kerry, and it's not like massively comfortable. It was okay for Albie for a little bit, but he did pop into our bed in the middle of the night. But that is a huge bed. Look at the size of that bed. That is bigger than a king size, because I think it is 2 beds put together. But that is the sleeping area, and I'll show you the view. Look, so that's where we started out there. So unfortunately we don't get a park view. There is a little bit of a sea view you can just see there. And the windows don't open. But having said that, the aircon unit, the air cooling system works really well. It's so cold. Control the temperature with that button there, and then you can just control the power level there. We had it on full on 16 overnight, and we woke up freezing. We had to turn it off because it was that cold in the room. So it was nice, but it was very cold. So you do have a little desk area right next to the TV, and when you do come in, there is an information screen on the TV. This is channel 400. If you happen to come off it on the TV with the remote, you can just press 400, the channel 400, and this brings you back to the hotel information. And it's got hotel information, Pleasure Beach information, local, room service, Wi-Fi instructions, special offers, and then you can watch TV. What I will say about the TV, whilst we're talking about it, is the numbers are a little bit weird. Like if you press the little P button, which would be the channels, that one, it won't actually go to channel 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, anything like that. You're pressing up and down and it just goes to those numbers. So it'll jump from 841 to 51 to 92. So there is no 1 and 2, but if you press the number 1, then BBC 1 comes up. If you press the number 2, and then okay, BBC 2 comes up. So the channels are there, they're just not easily found, and even when you press guide, they're not actually BBC 1 and BBC 2. Look, it's 51, 92, 100, 206. So there is no BBC 1 or 2 or actual normal channels on the guide, which is weird. I've never sort of seen that before. I don't know what that is about, but just so you know, if you're looking on the guide or if you're pressing the channel up and down button and you think, oh, I can't actually find any familiar channels, just press the numbers on the remote and you will get the normal channels. So then if I press, come out of that, then press 400 for the channel, and then it brings you back to the hotel information. And it's got all sorts of information on there. Pleasure Beach. You can go to, what can we go? Pleasure Beach. And then it tells you a little bit about everything. It tells you there, look, the exclusive entrance. An exclusive entrance to the park is available direct from the hotel for staying guests only. This entrance will be open at the same time of the park opening and will stay open for 1 hour 30 minutes. This facility is for entering the park and will not be available for exit afterwards. Please use the main entrance to exit and then re-enter until the park closes. However, I'm sure it does say on a little bit of paper that they gave us on reception when we checked in that you can get out of this entrance, this exclusive entrance. But all sorts of information there on Pleasure Beach, Nickelodeon Land, shows, arena fireworks, special events and stuff. And if you go to room service menu, you're able to find out a little bit more information about room service. Look, there's even prices on there, and like a menu, the number to call, what the times that the room service is available. So there is loads of information on that, if that's something that interests you. So I'll carry on with the little room tour. So this is, as I say, this is the main sort of sleeping area. This is where me and Kerry and Albie slept, because Albie slept in the middle of us at one point, got out of his bed. Interconnecting rooms if you need that. We haven't got it because we all got in one room because they can occupy 5. So we didn't need interconnecting rooms, but they do have them. There's another desk area there. A large desk area with some nice shortbreads and coffees and teas. You do get hot chocolate, you get Yorkshire tea, decaf coffee, Colombian coffee, and then sugars. A little bit of storage up there for souvenirs, as you can see. We went a little bit icon crazy yesterday. We got an icon bottle, an icon plastic drinks bottle, a couple of fridge magnets and a cup. And we got a few other bits as well, but it was icon was our favourite ride. So that's that area. There is an ironing board and an iron at the bottom there, and then you do get a hairdryer as well, and it is quite a strong hairdryer. You might not be able to tell on video, but that is quite a strong hairdryer. Kerry said she's quite surprised at how strong that was, which is good. Big mirror there. And then you've got your wardrobe area here, so you do get quite a lot of coat hangers. There is 12 coat hangers. They are branded, proper coat hangers that come off. Big Blue Hotel coat hangers. Bit of storage at the bottom. Loads of clothes storage there. I don't know how long people will be staying in these sort of hotels for, but I don't know if we'd ever use that much. Even if we went for 2 weeks, we probably wouldn't need that much storage space, but there's more there as well. And then there's coat hooks on the wall. 2 extra pillows for the bed there. Did use one of them yesterday. And then you've got the little kids area as well. So they've got like their own little separate room away from the main area. So it comes in and then just turns in here. And then they've got, these are 5-foot bunk beds. Now we've got quite tall children. Maisie's almost as tall as me. She's like about 5'10", 5'9", and Zach's about 5'5", 5'6", so they are both bigger than 5 foot, but they said those beds were comfortable enough. These being 5 foot, because we're on this side of the hotel. The other side, the park view rooms, because they're more luxurious rooms and you pay a supplement, they do have 6-foot bunk beds. So if your children need the longer beds, then go for a park view room, because they are 6-foot beds and not 5 foot. They do both each have their own light that they can control. And they do both have their own TV. So there's a TV on this level and a TV on that level. So they can both watch their own things. You just get one remote, but the one remote does control both TVs. But they can watch separate channels. If you point the remote at the TV that you want to control. Let's put both of them on now, look. BBC One, BBC One. So I could turn that to BBC Two, ITV. So now this one's showing ITV and that one's still showing BBC Two. So you can both watch separate channels. And it also does come with a PlayStation 3. There is a PlayStation 3 in these children's rooms. I know what you're thinking. PS3 is about 18 years old now, but there you go. It is what it is. There's a PS3 with 2 controllers. If you want to bring your own games, you can, and you can just play them on there. Or if you want to pop to CEX in town and get some cheap PS3 games before you come, because the caveat to the PS3 being in the room is that they do charge £5 per game per night at reception for a PS3 game. So there, in the kids area as well, there is also a snakes and ladders game with little magnet counters, and then there's a giant dice there. So the kids was playing that yesterday. So that's the kids' room, and it's good that they do get their own sort of separate area as well, so they're a little bit away from everybody else. They've got their own little secluded area. And I'll show you the bathroom. This is the bathroom. The standard bathroom. There's a shower there as well. I had a bath last night and it was really nice. It was really hot water. It filled up quite quickly. It was nice and comfortable. You do get we got 5 big towels and 3 little towels. You get branded toilet roll with a little sticker look. And then you do get some toiletries as well, complimentary toiletries. So you get shower caps, you get soap, You get shampoo, shower gel and conditioner. And that's the bathroom. Nice clean bathroom. So as I said, I'm going to talk a little bit about the pricing now. So I'll go back to the beginning. We was always going to come to Blackpool Pleasure Beach to come to the actual theme park. This was always our plan to come in the summer. And we was just going to stay at a Britannia Hotels, like a cheaper sort of Norbert Castle or the Savoy or something like that. We was going to find a room and stay as cheap as we could. We looked at the prices for the Pleasure Beach for 5 of us. We looked online a few days ago and it was coming up at £189, and that was pre-booking online. So if we came on the day, it would be even more expensive. This was the cheapest we could find it online for 5 of us, £189. And we thought, well, we'll pay that because we want to go for the day. We've always planned to, so we was going to pay the 189 quid. So we then started looking at hotels and we was thinking, right, it's going to be probably about £80 for the hotel. That's the cheapest we could find for all of us. And then I thought I'll have a look on the Big Blue Hotel site because I've heard that they do some deals. And when I went on, I saw that they're offering free Pleasure Beach tickets for everybody who stays in that room if you stay on I think it's a Thursday, Friday or a Sunday night. So if your stay is longer than that and it includes a Thursday, Friday or Sunday, or if you're only staying for one night and it is a Thursday, Friday or Sunday night for the whole of 2025, then they do offer free Pleasure Beach tickets for everybody who stays in that room, either the day you arrive or the day you leave, so you can pick the day. And I looked at the pricing, we got this room, this family room, with an all-you-can-eat breakfast buffet for 5 of us for £211. So bear in mind, we was going to pay £189 for the theme park tickets. So we actually only paid £22 more than we was going to pay for the tickets. We was prepared to pay, we was ready to pay that, we was about to, and then we saw this deal. So £22 extra, and we've got a room on site with exclusive entry into the park and an all-you-can-eat breakfast buffet, which I will pop in now. Give you a little tour of the breakfast buffet. So there's got a coffee machine with cappuccino, espresso, black coffee, cafe latte, cafe au lait. You can get a cafe au lait, chocolate, I guess that's a milkier chocolate, mocha, latte and hot water. And then there's orange, apple, water and tropical. I might get a cafe au lait. And then there's two toasting machines there as well. Different variety of breads. Yeah, bigger cups. Brown bread, white bread. And then we'll have a look at the hot food. In a second. There is banana. Well, it says bananas, but there aren't any bananas, but there's like porridge and yogurt, not porridge, muesli, fruit, yogurt, and then the hot food, we've got fried eggs, sausages, bacon. Fried eggs look good, the sausages look good, the sausage links, the bacon looks good. It's not the fatty, horrible bacon that you can sometimes get on these buffets. So you've got eggs, sausages, bacon, beans, plum tomatoes, scrambled egg, and little hash brown bites. And then you've got all your different little jams, spreads, layer pack, flora. There's jars of milk, there's marmalade and different jams and things, and then little cereal packets. So there's Cocoa Pops, cornflakes, Weetabix, Frosties, Rice Krispies, and milk, full fat milk that is. And then you've got some pastries here as well. So there is some little mini pain au chocolats, and then little mini croissants. So I'm going to get myself a cafe au lait coffee and a fried breakfast. And we're sat in the big table, the big round table in the window. We're going to get some brekkie. Oh, what's your first breakfast plate? What, is that yours or Albie's, the jam on toast? Albie's? Amazing.
This looks really good. I've only had one of these yet, but they're so nice.
Tater tots, like hash brown bites, yeah. What have you got?
No, just wait. I want you to eat a jam sandwich.
I've gone for a little bit of scrambled egg. I've got 5 rashers of bacon. I've tried to pick the burnt bits of bacon. And then 3 sausages, a fried egg, and some beans. I've got an orange juice and a coffee.
Just wait, please.
So now you've seen the breakfast. That was included in the price for 5 of us for an extra £22. So it was £4.40 each for each of us extra to stay here because we got the theme park tickets included. As I say, we was going to pay that price anyway. If you're not going to pay that price anyway, then it can be quite an expensive night. For £211 for a night with breakfast, it is expensive. But considering you're getting £189 worth of theme park tickets that we was already going to pay for anyway, it's an absolute bargain. We couldn't believe that, so we was like, right, let's book it. And we've turned up and we've had an awesome stay. Excellent day in the Pleasure Beach yesterday. We was there from open till close, and it's so nice just being on site. Literally yards away from the Pleasure Beach, is just behind us there. So we came out of the theme park yesterday and just strolled home, chilled out here for a bit, and then went out to Wetherspoons for our tea. So it was an absolutely awesome stay, an awesome price. £4 for less than a £5 each extra to stay in this hotel with breakfast, with the breakfast buffet. So that's that. And as I say, that offer is still on for the rest of this year, or for the rest of the season that the park is open, if you stay on a Thursday, Friday or a Sunday night, or if your stay includes one of those. And you can get access to the Pleasure Beach for free for everybody in your party. And for us, because there's 5 of us, we ended up saving a lot, 189 quid's worth of park tickets for nothing. Or we're counting it as we paid for the park tickets and we got the room and the breakfast for £22. That's because 3 days ago we was prepared to pay the 189 for the tickets and then get the hotel separately. So for us, we're counting this as a £22 room with breakfast for us all, which is amazing. In the summer holidays, on a weekend, right next to Pleasure Beach in Blackpool, with the breakfast that you saw, it was a really nice breakfast. So awesome. So less than a £5 per person to stay here. Bargain, absolute bargain. If you've got any questions about it, please do pop those in the comments down below. Let me know if you've stayed at the Big Blue Hotel. I've stayed before, but not for many, many years, but I think we will definitely be coming again, probably to do this deal again. So let me know in the comments if you've been or if you're planning to come, and pop a little like on it if it's been useful. If you've enjoyed it, pop a little like on it. And don't forget to click the subscribe button for lots more content like this. So from the Big Blue Hotel, we're going to go into Blackpool now and spend the day over there. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you guys on the next one. See you later. Bye bye.